Hi, my name is Stacy Kleinert, and I am going to talk about ghosts, basically. And can the mind actually leave the body? What do you think? So, ghosts are pretty interesting, right? Yeah, I don't even know how to start this, but throughout the slideshow, I like to add humor into kind of some teachings, but as much as I believe in ghosts, I also think that it's pretty funny, so hopefully you guys think it's funny too. So down here I have this little meme, and it says ghost caught on tape, because you see a paper ghost caught on the tape. Haha. Okay, so certain television programs claim to provide images of ghostly figures and show that they say our house is haunted by ghosts. In 2013, Online Harris poll of 2,250 American adults, 42% of respondents said that they believed in ghosts, and 24% believed in reincarnation. Many people who believe in ghosts think the mind or spirit is a non-physical entity that leaves the physical body at death. But what do you think? I don't think that there's any right or wrong answer here. Here's a few other ones. If you watch TV, you probably have heard of Ghost Adventures, Zach Bagans, so I thought this was pretty funny. If there's a ghost in this room, throw a chair at Aaron, because they always try to provoke these spirits that they say they found and have them go after one of the other guys in the group. And then we have this one that they're trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty. Okay, so if you believe that ghosts exist, then you likely believe that the non-physical entity, such as the soul or spirit, can exist in the physical body and then leave it after death. Likewise, those who think that the mind or soul actually leaves a person's body during an out-of-body experience or an OBE view the mind as separable from the brain. In these two examples, mental experience seems distinct and separable from the physical dimension. So here I have a couple of different definitions. And so the MB, which is the mind-brain dualism, it's a position which assumes that the mind and body are two different entities. Monism is the position that the mind and brain are really all one thing. And then there's materialism, which is a form of monism that assumes the world is physical, and thus the mind and brain are both fundamentally physical entities. So, if I had to pick one, I think I'm going to go with MB dualism, personally. Again, there's no right or wrong answer here, but many dualists believe that although their bodies are limited by time and space, our minds or souls can go beyond these limitations, even surviving physical death. For example, many Christians believe that the body is material or physical, and that the soul is immaterial or non-physical. The non-physical soul resides in the person's body during life, but it leaves the physical form that contains it at the time of death. It's not surprising then that MB dualists also tend to believe that when people have an out-of-body experience, the mind actually leaves the body. In contrast to dualism, many other philosophers, psychologists, and scientists endorse monism, the position that the world is really all one thing, exactly as the term implies. According to monists, the mind and body simply appear to be different, but they're actually one entity. The most common form of monism, called materialism or physicalism, assumes the world is physical and governed by the influence of the environment of the physical body. Mental experience, therefore, is just an aspect of the physical operation of the brain. Still, other monists believe that the mind and brain are really identical, and that every mental state has a corresponding brain state. Again, my personal belief is somewhere around the MB dualism. There's reductionist, a materialist who assumes that scientific research will ultimately be able to explain all mental states in physical terms when relevant biochemical and other physical changes within the nervous system are understood. And then there are functionalists, a scientist who regards mental states and processes as something to be explained in their own right, and who assumes that mental processes serve certain functions. Some materialists believe that if we knew enough, we would see that all behavior and mental processes could be reduced to the brain processes operating in the physical world. These so-called reductionists assume that scientific research will ultimately be able to explain mental states when we understand that relevant biochemical and other physical changes that occur in the nervous system. According to reductionists, focus on research investigating how the nervous system provides the basis for behavioral and mental processes. Still, other scientists, known as functionalists, regard mental states and processes as something to be explained in their own right and assume that mental processes serve certain functions. Although many functionalists are sympathetic to the claims of materialism, they do not assume that all behavior of mental processes can be reduced to the physical events. They might agree that the function of the brain is to produce mental processes and experiences, but they are less concerned with how the brain accomplishes this amazing feat. So again, I would like to hear what your opinion is and what your take is. We know nothing really about this and the mind and the body, so I think at this point, until we find some hard facts from science, or some not so hard facts, it's pretty open to interpretation. Thanks for listening in. I appreciate it.